Absolute Duelist here with the one person in our new team, Stardust Crusaders. Team, friend. And pretty much we're at YCS London, day 2, where, this lad came day 2 with Dark Worlds. Yeah, like, I don't think anyone else in the top, no one else in the top was on that. What was your score in the end? 90th, right?
I was 90th, yeah.
Yeah.
90th, yeah.
And you might have even come top 64 if they didn't mess up in round yesterday, right?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Well, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, but you came day 2, Dark Worlds. Anything you want to say?
Pretty decent all day. Found out Brandon's quite free for this deck for some reason. And I found out Dragonlith is my worst enemy because I lost to them. But overall, I played all meta, which was low-key something you want to see, but it was interesting that I didn't get anything a lot more diverse than that. But I was quite happy with the ratios and things, but I'd be happy to go into it now.
All right, so let's have a look at your list then.
Right, so, I mean, it looks fairly standard at first. So we've got 3 Genta. Literally, like, the best one you want to open. You want to open this plus, like, Dark World, and you're pretty much popping off. 3 Snow, Searcher, not once per turn. Had a Judge Call because the text is so confusing and I have to explain it to him. 3 Rainbow, broken. Like, you draw this plus Genta and you're, like, pretty much guaranteed hand loop. And then 2 Grapha. A lot of people are like, play 3, and I'm also like, why do you want to brick on more level 8s? But, I mean, I get their logic, but at the same time, I didn't really miss 3 at all. I think 2 was absolutely fine. 2 Silver. Now, I was in 2 minds of playing 1 Silver or 2 Silver. There were a couple of times where I bricked 2 Silver and it was so annoying. Because you can't really, like, banish yourself gates because it sums itself back. I think 2 was fine in, like, the grand scheme of things, but also there's arguments for playing 1. And then it's really hand loop null. And I also played 2 Brown. Now, I had a lot of debate between playing 1 Brown or none. I thought 2 was, like, okay. The reason why is because, like, you kind of needed more Dark Walls to, like, banish off gates and discard, and this helps you go a little bit deeper. It's also just, like, it's good side out, and also, like, decent to banish off the lure as well. Not, like, the best reason to play it, but maybe in future I'll probably cut this off. I also played Danger Package. I played 3 Bigfoot. My logic was, I felt that I was going to be losing a lot of die roll, and discarding this means you out, like, a Rise Heart, which everyone's ending on a Rise Heart pass now. It's pretty good, and also, you know, it's level 8, makes Giant Trainer. I did struggle with it a little bit sometimes because sometimes I draw 2 of it and then people just kept sniping it. So maybe in future I might cut it down to 2, but overall it's pretty good.
Okay.
2 Nessie. Again, some people would argue 3 is better, but I think 2 was fine. You don't want to draw too many of the same name. I know, like, Bigfoot's at 3, but also, like, you don't want to draw too many of the same name because otherwise you just kind of they start hitting your dangers more and it gets a little bit irritating. I think 2 of this was absolutely fine. And then the one danger you kind of want them to hit, which is why I played this at 3, Mothman. Mothman is good. Like, it's pretty solid. Didn't really have many problems with it. If they snipe it, you draw, discard, Rainbow, start popping off. It's pretty good. And play a 1-off Jackalope. Like, Jackalop's good.
The masochist that always gets hit.
It did get sniped, like, once. Kind of annoying, but ended up summoning this, and I made the garage anyway, so it's fine.
Okay.
And then also made deck 2 Radiant. Radiant was clutch. Love this card. Everyone's ending on Rise Heart Pass. This guarantees takes away an interruption, and yeah, literally just makes game gets cash a lot easier.
Was there ever an issue because it was a level 7?
No.
Okay.
Like, literally, if I coached someone, the game was over.
Okay, so, fair enough.
onto the spells. 3 gates. I don't know why you'd play any less.
Card is a free draw.
Yeah. Freela is solid. Not really any complaints. Resolve like Freela is like quite a lot today. Free trade-in. Trade-in plus Bigfoot out to Rise Heart. Well, didn't really come up, but trade-in's just good. Digs your deck deeper. One-offs. So, 4 power spells. Okay. Session. Really good, but you also don't want to play multiple of it because it will just brick your hand. Archives, again, really good, but hard once per turn, not really worth playing multiple of it. But if you resolve it, you start snowballing an advantage. Talents, during the hand loop, you loop the last card. It's also just good going into just another out to a Rise Heart, things like that. Card destruction, doesn't need explaining, it's just God card. So that's main deck, that's 40.
Do you feel like there was anything you might want to change with the main deck, or?
I mean, as I said, like maybe the brow, maybe cut it to 1. I quite liked having brow there, but maybe cutting it to 1 would be fine. Maybe cutting silver to 1. I'd have to be careful about Dark World ratios to danger ratios, and then also maybe cutting Bigfoot to 2.
All right.
Not sure what I'd put in place, but that's just kind of more to think about. Okay, on to the extra deck. So, extra deck, 2 reference. Unicorn would rip the first one, so, you know, it's good to play 2.
Unicorn or Mindhacker, right?
Unicorn, Mindhacker, yeah, that's right. Unicorn, Mindhacker, they sometimes they go for this. Don't play 1, play 2. Some second one comes up sometimes. Then the Xyz, Douglas, good all day. Sometimes got imperm, it's kind of annoying. Never came up. Came up like 3 times today. Ridiculous. Didn't go into time today at all, but it's still really good. And then this never came up either, but in theory, very good.
I'm assuming that every Cashtira player ripped your Zeus.
Yes, I think the one time Mindhacker resolved, he ripped the Zeus. Yes, that's right. And then Lynx, Mindcracker, best card in the extra deck. I really wanted to find a way to put a second one in, but didn't have the room. Both castle loops are really. Akashic's pretty good because it bounces your dangers as well. You can also bounce like your Kaijus, and I've got Lava Guns inside deck to bounce those as well. Just pretty solid removal as well. Then Nightmare Package. All 3 of these pretty good.
All trigger dangers, right?
The all trigger dangers. Useful to get Grapher out of hand sometimes, and just good removal. This outs like weird like floodgates. This outs like if they put Rise Heart in the main monster zone or just problematic monsters. This outs anything pretty much. Link 4s came up a lot all day. Soja getting imperm was really annoying, but you know, not much you can do about it.
That was the one game you bricked as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's one game I bricked, and then like imperm Soja just not like this. Yeah, whenever I made Appaloosa, I won. Never came up, but good in theory. Like there were, I know there was like a lot of people on like towers like decks, so it's kind of good to
just an additional way out after your Kaijus.
Yeah. Additional out, yeah. And also now under rivalry as well. If for some reason they still have rivalry against you. Okay, going on to the side. Gamma and Driver. Now, I feel like this should be standard like every single Dark Horse structure deck because this card just does everything. It every time they will hand trap you. Every time they hand trap you when you have like nothing on board. They should because. Usually they will Ash Genter or they will hand trap Genter, and then this becomes live. They usually drop Shifter in the standby phase because they don't want you to like discard Genter and then get searched and get going. And also Droll kills this deck, so yeah, Gamma's just good for that. It's pretty good all weekend, but there were some times where I just kind of drew it and it wasn't really live and it's just kind of awkward. But that's just Gamma things really. Sometimes it happens. And then 2 Lava Golem. Lava Gunner was good. Decided it didn't get Sprite. Poor guy got Lava Golem twice and then Kaiju'd. Like, I don't know. It's card is really good. It's basically an FTK versus like Sprite or Runic Materia. Never came up today because I didn't play any back row decks. But you know, still good. Another out to Shifter or Draw or any annoying hand trap. Every time I started this in, I saw it. It's so good. This card's so good. Lava Golem them, summon a bunch of Dark Worlds, take the Lava Golem game. Easy. This card was good all day as well. I liked Cosmic versus like Runic matchup. I also like back row matchups, but I didn't play them. But yeah, it's mainly for Runic, and the amount of times that Fountain just got Cosmic is great. And then last two, Skill Drift.
Why only two?
Why two? Honestly, you draw into it most of the time. I also didn't have room for a third. But you do end up drawing into it most of the time due to changes and stuff. But this is like, it's kind of like Plan B. If like you don't draw like the hand loop, and then you don't draw your hand loop, or you don't loop enough cards, or they draw you and you draw this, then or they shift to you, which sometimes happens. You can just sit on this and hope for the best. And more often than not, it works. A lot of games were won because of skill drain.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So overall, obviously, you've been playing Dark Worlds for God knows years now. Even before you played BA. Do you think it's one of the best decks in this format and it's just underappreciated, or do you think it's good or not good, as good as people are thinking? Like, I'm generally curious about your opinions. Because you made day 2. I'm sure everybody is interested to think like how good it is. Like, what would you say?
I think Dark Worlds are an interesting place because the issue is like the consistency is like it's good, but then you kind of it's hard to say because the issue with Dark World is you need like a certain amount of cards, a certain set of cards to play, and sometimes you can't get to this set of cards, and that's when you lose. And then obviously Castro with a Rise Heart becomes a bit of an issue, but you can build towards that, and that's great. So I would say like Dark World, the best hands of Dark World can play through like any board, realistically. But the issue lies in drawing those cards, and then getting to depending on what you draw next. And Dark World, especially this danger variant, has a lot of variance, and variance is a key factor when it comes to like playing this deck.
So consistency is key, basically.
Consistency is key. That's the main thing, and it's quite hard to make this deck like 100% consistent as something like Dragon Link. So overall, I would say like it's a good deck. It's a good deck to take, but you really have to be careful. There are quite easy ways to misplay with this deck, so you just have to be really careful playing this deck. But overall, it's really fun. It's really fun, and it's not fun for your opponent because they get hand looped, but it's fun to play. And it's quite. It's a lot more not like simple to like OTK with. You just stack big beasts on the board and just ram into the board. So.
Fair enough. Yeah. Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah. Generally, congrats on your day 2, man. Like, honestly, X3 until like where were you X2 to?
I was X2 until last round.
Until the last round. So yeah, you almost made it. It's just like sadly things happened and you didn't get to the top 64. But nonetheless, we both know you're a great player. You've topped events. And you did really good with Dark World's a deck that you actually do really like. So, yeah, congrats on all of that, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell him your thoughts on his list. Give him your opinions. Tell him if you think maybe there's a way to improve it. Like, I'm sure you'll look at them. But, yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching us. We'll see you next one. Priyam?
Yeah.